Come on. I said do 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 do. What's up, y'all? Man, we are chilling. We got some folks up in the chat. We got Daryl in the house. We got Nicholas in the house. Man, it's gonna be a good one barn burner tonight. Going to hit that thumbs up. If you hit that thumbs down, I'm gonna send Gravediggers after you because we are here on Late Ill Kid at OneYoungsta, holding it down, bringing that street geek and nerd soul. What is up, my people, today? Yeah, coming with another wonderful episode of That's Right, On Screen. We are here to talk about Black Lightning. That's right, man. It is nice to see your beautiful, sunshiny faces. And before I get started, I'm gonna give a little shout out to Double Toasted, a little shout out to For All Nerds, to Blurtish, to Thought Crimes, to Black Tribbles, folks out there doing their things, holding it down like Blur Girl. Wonderful to see y'all killing it day. Now, we got to get into, that's right, the one, the only, the man that holds it down for Freeland. That's right, Black Lightning. We up in here. We going to Markovia. How y'all feeling? We got some folks up in the chat already. I see you, Nicholas. Nicholas, you've been holding it down for a minute, talking about Outsiders. But how y'all feeling about the episode? How y'all, how your juice is flowing after the episode wrapped? Because for me, I was pleased to see that hot, and I do mean hot, choreography come back. Gravedigger versus your boy Khalil was dope. Seeing the team up with Anissa and Papa Black Lightning was dope. Seeing TC move around and work the way he did, even though he's very weird and creepy at times, but I enjoyed it. Brandon going off, getting crazy. We're going to get into all that. And thank you for hitting that thumbs up, guys. Nice to see them likes come in. Hit the pass the sweat before we get started. And I want to talk about the moment at the beginning of the episode with Black Lightning, or Jefferson at this time, and Gamby. To see two men, in this case, kind of like a surrogate son and father relationship, and just a kind of slower, quiet moment for them to relate to one another. It was cool to see that. It was cool to see the history behind them. So much has gone on that either sometimes we just forgot about, or things are moving so fast we just don't really think or keep at the top of our mind. And him being crushed with the kind of like, kidnapping of his wife. Also, feeling a certain way about going on this mission with, his daughters and putting them in danger, but knowing there's no way they would stay. That puts a lot on his mind and heart. And, of course, he's in love with Lynn. He's been loving Lynn for years. I mean, what is it? Remember the vice principal that was trying to holler at him and he ain't even want her. Why? Because he still loved Lynn. So it's still, the love is strong. The love is there. You heard him listening to them slow jams, and Gammy was like, I got your back, dog. I know you need to vent. I got your back. So I like that we're able to get those moments of just, husbandhood, manhood, vibing, saying together, being able to be one another's shoulder to lean on and stuff. I thought that was nice. Also, a similar scene, even though I'm going to, kind of nitpick this one, but a similar scene with Jen and Khalil. Jen saying, I want you to come. And Khalil being on some, nah, I ain't coming. And we all knew, like, come on, bro. We know you coming. Like, why are we even doing this? Why are we even doing this scene? Because we know you're coming. But to see his relation to Jen, his relation to Jefferson, even after, and the remorse that he has for the things that he's done, even though he hasn't been in full control of his, his powers or his life or his body or whatever. Showing, how he feels about himself. Is he worthy? Is he able? But he comes through, and we'll talk about that in a second. But just really love the way they portrayed these moments where our characters can talk to each other instead of just always running, racing, and going on without it being so exposition like. Even though the beginning with Black Lightning and Gamby did kind of was like, let me catch you up on what's going on, but it was more in a way where he was just relating to, you know what I'm saying, to his surrogate father, and I thought that was cool. So before we get any further, I'm gonna handle some stuff in the chat, but I want to give a big shout out to Geek Fine Art. That's right, the artist sponsor wall behind me. Big shout out to Geek Fine Art on Instagram. Check him out. He has some pieces. About 90% of this art on behind me is his, maybe 95. A lot of it is the Turtles, the Iron Fist, the Black Panther and Killmonger, the Batman, the Huntress and all them. That's all his. So big shout out to him. And behind me, you probably can't see, like right there, is a piece from Karan Grant, super awesome artist, another person that's extremely dope. So in the chat, we got Nicholas Kelly saying, for me, I was pleased, but I needed more fight scenes. But that's just my thirst for televised or animated combat. But other than that, I'm good. Yeah, I was thinking this episode would be almost a full show of fight scenes, like a full mission. Like I thought we were going to open up with them kind of like, halo jumping or dropping out of the helicopter into the drop zone or into the high drop zone. Your boy Wesley Snipes. That would have been a nice addition to this episode, but dropping into the combat area and going crazy. But of course, budgets. Fight choreography ain't easy. But the fight choreography they pulled off was nice, was choice, if you will. I like the addition of Wayne Brady. People was like, oh, this is Wayne Brady, son. Hashtag black actors. But seeing how his power worked, seeing how Lynn and Jace were working to counteract it, seeing Curls come in there was real cool. And I enjoyed everybody's collective and slightly competing, missions inside of the main goal of saving Lynn and getting Tobias back. So Nicholas Kelly says in the chat, says this is when Jefferson came into conflict with his own morals and code this episode. True, because we saw how he did Gravedigger. Nicholas Kelly says, as for Khalil, it was understandable how he was feeling and coming from. Freeland as a whole took so much from him. His ride to college, his legs, his morals, his spine, his life, and his mother too. So I understand. I definitely understand him wanting to leave Freeland and kind of just disappear to a certain degree. So, I'm not hating on him, but we kind of knew, like, yo, you coming on a mission. And big shout out to the all black outfits. They were cool. I did see Anissa trying to sashay up in there, but we know how she do. So that's just how she do. Did we see Grace in any combat? I don't think we saw Grace in any combat, which would have been nice to see Grace on some infiltration kind of styles, but we didn't see that. At least not that I remember. I might have been tripping. I might have been, drinking some of the juicy juice, and we didn't see, I don't think, enough from the young lady. I can't remember her name. One of the pod kids that TC helped get the turn the chip off. And we didn't see Eddie Munster really do much at all this episode, but kind of like stand in the base and kick it. Big shout out to Markeith in the house. What up? What up? Nice to see you. Nice to have you up in this spot. So Nicholas Kelly says, I know that Khalil desperately wants to leave Freeland. And saying that feeling that he's not going to get that far. I agree. I don't think he's going to get far. He's going to have to come back. And then you mentioned Gravedigger, which I'll go in and jump into now, because the wealth of this episode, not the wealth of this episode, but the meat of this episode happened in Markovia. Khalil versus Gravedigger. Whoo! that was nice. I like that. And I like how they were kind of like back and forth for a second. But of course, Gravedigger was like, look, man, you ain't got the experience. You got some skills, you got some speed, but I got you. You know what I'm saying? You got to worry about that old man strength, man. That old man strength will get you sometimes. You got to watch your youth. But it was nice seeing them go back and forth, and Khalil doing the best he can because he knew he had to stall for time so Jen could find Ma Dukes. And Nicholas Kelly said Brady might look for round 2, or at the very least, maybe picked up by Lady Eve's forces. You know what? I wouldn't be mad to see Wayne Brady or Gravedigger again. Maybe, next season sometime. It would be nice to see where he goes, and also maybe him with a connection, or kind of a even on opposite ends of the spectrum of working for someone who the teleporter is working for, and kind of see how that might play off and how their powers might combine and how they could clash against one another. So that's one thing that I really enjoyed was, basically Gravedigger, his acting, how he came on set with old boy like, I'm in charge now. Also the fighting, it came off pretty decent. Now I know there were stunt actors doing a lot of it, but Wayne Brady came through with what we did see. So I'm, hey, you know how I feel about Khalil. I thought it was a cool scene. I enjoyed it. Black Lightning, when he was getting Tobias out and all the hand-to-hand, he was holding it down. I was like, yo, I see y'all with the choreography. I see you. Nice stuff. Also, interesting usage of Anissa's powers with the young girl, and drop her name in the chat because I cannot remember her name. The one that is able to, basically Sebastian Shaw, the one that can absorb powers and then use that force back, exponentially. Let me know who she is, or Bishop or something like that. Let me know what her name is. I'm sorry, I'm blanking on it. Big shout out to Nicholas Kelly says, we did see our girl Grace shapeshift into Colonel Yuri. Yeah, and knock out a couple of Markovian goons so she could hack into the computer main. So, thank you. Yes, I remember she did something, but I was like, yo, where did she go? So yes, good point. So she did actually get to get her shapeshift on, and she was very useful. Get your little, your spy level hero-ness down on point and on lock. So I did like that, but to the point of Tobias, where do you see him now? Where do you see Tobias ending up on the scale of justice, as far as Black Lightning is concerned, on the scale of villainy, as far as, say, Lady Eve and Lala are concerned, and where do you see him on these pod kids and getting his own powers? Like, I'm pretty sure it's in his mind somewhere down the line. And while y'all think, talk amongst yourselves, I'll get the rest of these joints from the chat. See what it said. Nicholas Kelly said, nothing much aside for this show with I guess with Grace, and also Jefferson been practicing Static's famous taser punches. Yo, on the real, Jefferson been hitting folks with the taser punches for a while. You know what I'm saying? He's got those on lock. I did like how he jumped out and kind of floated for a second, then did that flip and landed with the hero pose. I was like, I see you, Jefferson. Jefferson was like, look, don't let the old age fool you. All right, I still got some heat. You know what I'm saying? So that was beautiful to see. Nicholas Kelly says the Asian girl who was basically female Sebastian Shaw, her name was Erica Masterson. Thank you. Because I was like, Sebastian Shaw, I was like, that's who she is, but she's, some lady. I don't know her name. So yes, it was good to see her, use her powers. The only thing I didn't like is how they went about explaining her powers. Like, we didn't know, and I guess they were like, oh, maybe our viewers forgot what she can do. And they were like, it reminded me of the scene in Black Dynamite when they were trying to break down the man's plan. Because Anissa was like, oh, if I hit her again, she can grow exponentially. And Black Lightning was like, yeah, she can do that. And I was just like, dude, we know. We know. Yes. Have her do it and we can move on with the story, because we know what she can do. We've been watching. You know, and if someone had, like, Lady Lisa, like, like my lady said, she said, if they don't know, we can pick it up. We're smart enough. We can get it. But like, oh, word, she's taking the punches. Oh, and then she punched the door. Cool. She must be able to take that power and put it over there. You know what I'm saying? I, I feel like the writers kind of talked down to us for a second, or forgot how smart we were, or maybe they didn't think that we remember what she could do. Now, to their credit, I did forget her name, but I did not forget what she could do. Oh man. All in all, I like this episode because this episode brings together a couple of things for me. It brings together the family. It brings together the resolve of the ASA, meaning this is what the ASA wanted. They dealt a death blow. Well, maybe not a death blow, but a pretty serious blow to the Markovians. And it brings together Khalil's kind of resolve for himself and how he saved and kind of got on the path to, I guess, redemption, even though he didn't personally do anything. So I don't think he needs redemption really, because he didn't do those things, but I know he feels like it was me. So that it brings that to stuff together for me. Also, it opens up the door for Tobias. You know what I'm saying? What's Tobias doing? Where is he now? What's his mental state? You saw when the alarm started going off, Tobias just started busting out laughing. Because Tobias knew. He like, yo, you think Black Lightning didn't come for his wife? And he's like, when they come for his wife, they gonna get me too. So I'm already saved. I'm just waiting for them to show up. And once again, Tobias he's right. He knew. He knew. That's why he was giggling. He was like, man, psh, I ain't gonna be here long. Like, you just wait. Black Lightning will be here. It's weird when the villain is waiting on the hero to save them. But big shout out to Markovia Collins. Said indeed posted like a stamp at Nicholas Kelly. Yeah, like, yo, post it up, son. It's tough out there in them streets. So my question now is, it seems like Markovians are on the run. We see the preview for the next episode where it seems that the Markovians are coming for their counterattack, their round two. Do we see in the next episode the same level of camaraderie on Freeland soil as we did in Markovian soil? Or will some of the ancillary heroes kind of be like, well, I'm cool? Because we saw how Brandon ran off. It was like, where's Dr. Jace? And just ran off and completely forgot about the mission. So I'm sure that Dr. Jace, wherever she is all that Brandon is interested in. And when they tell him that he can't kill her, I'm sure that's going to cause a rift between him and Jen, or him and Jefferson, or him and the ASA, whatever it is. Also, will the ASA honor their side of the bargain? We heard all that mess about, amnesty. You're going to get amnesty. Your whole team, they're going to have amnesty. We ain't going to mess with them. Do we trust the ASA like that? I mean, do you trust the ASA like that? Because I feel like I don't trust the ASA like that. Nicholas Kelly says, as for Tobias, I see him actually being in the background for the most part, then use his own cutting to find another way to siphon or say get some poor soul to transfer a pod kid's powers. Yeah, unfortunately. There's probably going to be a couple of dead pod kids behind Tobias. And I think we see a juiced up Tobias that we haven't seen before. Something that not only gives him powers, but probably stabilizes that serum that he takes. And that's a dangerous Tobias. And he said, since we've been seeing so much of Erica, I'm starting to fear that she might be the one. Yeah. You know what? I can see that happening. Build Erica up, because, it's going to be heartbreaking when she goes. We saw how excited she was when she was able to bust the door open. And we'll probably see more of that, excitement. Maybe we'll finally get an apology from her to TC, because she was kind of dogging him out when he was just trying to help. But he was kind of creepy when he was helping, so he should have just been like, yo, look, I can talk to computers, right? There's a computer in your head, I'm gonna fix it. You know what I'm saying? He should have just said that instead of being like weird, touching her hair and stuff. It was kind of weird. So TC needs to use his words, right? Use your words. Nicholas Kelly says, one of the older comments that Nicholas Kelly had like way long ago was talking about the outsiders. And my question to you, Nicholas Kelly, is do you honestly think that we'll ever see the outsiders in this iteration of DC, CW heroes? And here's why. The outsiders, from my perspective, the outsiders always weighed heavily on Dick Grayson, on Starfire possibly, Arsenal, and Brainiac. Those are 4 people that we do not have. Now, I mean, I guess you can have outsiders in name, but would it satisfy that for you? Yes, no, maybe so. Let me know. Because Dick Grayson, I think, has always been an important part of the outsiders. But I mean, I might be tripping. But for me, outsiders need to have Dick Grayson, Arsenal, and Brainiac. Maybe nice to have, at least from the start. And then maybe after like a season or 2, they can go off on their own. But those always seem like the core to me for the outsiders. But let me know. I might be tripping. You might be like, nah, they don't need them. So, let me know. So with that said, Nicholas Kelly says, because just think about it, with him taking that serum and then add Erica's kinetic absorption and his enhanced strength, it would be a bad combination. True. It'd be a good combination for Tobias. He'd love it. It'd be awesome for him. It'd be bad for Lala, definitely, because there's still no love lost there. It would be bad for Lady Eve, because remember, he wanted Lady Eve dead long ago. And I love a situation where villains don't get along with each other. And he's not too keen on Odell. So with Lala under the radar from ASA right now, Lady Eve even further under the radar, I wonder where this places Tobias as, say if he gets those powers, where it places him on the organizational chart of villains in Freeland. Does it put him at the top again? Or is he going to have to climb a little bit? You know what I'm saying? Is he going to have to earn that power back? Let's see. Marquise Collins says, what y'all feel about Kaidan TV show? Do you mean Krypton? Do you mean Krypton TV show or Kaitan? I don't know. I think you mean Krypton, but let me know if I'm tripping. I might have misread that. But yeah, as far as Odell, Tobias, I think that's something that ends strong by the end of this season. So yeah, that's something that I'm really psyched to see how they resolve that. Now, before I go forward, I want to give y'all a big checkout real quick for Arcatron. That's right, ARCKATRON. Don't forget the Space Bridge is out for streaming. Go and cop that joint on Arcatron.com. That's right, ARCKATRON.com. Grab the album, super dope. It's called The Space Bridge. Your boy is on it, and there's a whole host of other fly folks and dope beats. So dope beats, dope rhymes. I mean, that's all you need. So big shout out to Nicholas Kelly said, well, in on the iteration of comics, TC's wife was Marissa Barron, who was Halo. And on that team, we had Brainiac in the form of Indigo, or to the comic fans know her as Brainiac 8. Yeah, Indigo, Brainiac, Brainiac 8, either, the same person. So that's what I mean. Like Halo, I'm down with too. I love Halo's powers and how she's able to kind of like swap in and out of different powers. So Halo's cool too. We got Halo on the Young Justice show. So, I'm down with that. But for me, I think we need like a staple anchor, and that anchor would, for me, would probably be, it'd probably have to be Dick Grayson. I can't really think of no one else, but maybe I'm tripping. Maybe TC could be a surrogate of Brainiac, maybe, but I don't know. Big shout out to Nicholas Kelly also saying, so is anyone else feeling sympathetic towards Dr. Jace tonight? Because Homegirl looked like she was one step away from pulling a SpongeBob brain on fire scene once she caught wind of Gravedigger. And again, when she was taken into another lab facility by Colonel Yuri and the Goon Squad. You know what? I don't have no, I ain't, look, Dr. Jace, I ain't got no love for her. Not at all. Not a drop, not a drippity drop. Not a drip, drop, drippity drop. No, not at all. Not even a piece. All right. Dr. Jace, look, she need to kick rocks. That's all I'm saying. Oh, Marquise Collins says, yeah, Krypton. From what I saw, I never finished all of season 2, but I actually didn't mind Krypton. It wasn't my favorite DC show, but I in no ways disliked it. I thought it was a decent show. I think Sci-Fi should have gave it a little more love than they did. I think they were building to something very unique. I really like what they did with Zod and not Deathstroke, Doomsday, but I just don't think they got the time they needed. I think if they would have gave them a little more love on the budget side, and maybe one more season, we could have seen like a building of fan support, because Krypton did have they had the pieces they needed. Brainiac was decent, real decent, and how Zod was working with his mother and stuff, and that dynamic, I thought it was pretty cool. So I think they had something there, and they never really got to mature it. You know what I'm saying? Before they were cut short. Nicholas Kelly, like the Empire reference. That's right. Look, Empire got one good season. All right, that's all I'm gonna say. After that, I don't know what they was doing. But tonight, another good episode. Really dug it. Enjoyed it a lot. Fight scenes were on point. I love the one-on-ones. In this case, the one-on-one with Jen and Khalil, the one-on-one with Gambi and Jeff, and with Khalil and Jeff, and also seeing the worry and concern from Anissa concerning Khalil, because from her perspective, Khalil almost killed me, killed Tavon, and almost killed me. And I know y'all saying y'all done locked this thing behind the firewall, but I don't trust him. And I can't hate her on that. And I like that dynamic. I do think that in some extreme situation, we'll see Painkiller released, maybe in a mental break or extreme anger or something. That lock for that firewall will open up, and we might see a struggle over the mind of Khalil, between real Khalil and Painkiller. I do like the fact that we have Khalil with the abilities and the strength to be able to still operate, like a Painkiller. So I do like that. Just not the poisoning folks. So we can still dap you up if possible or if necessary. And Marquise Collins says, I feel the same way. Yeah, I think Krypton had much more to give, especially after being in the panel with can't remember the gentleman who was the showrunner for and one of the writers for Krypton. I can't remember his name. Oh man, it's escaping me right now. But it's actually on the channel where they talk about the possible the possible future of what we would have seen on Krypton on the show, but unfortunately they were of course cut short. And it's just one of those things that, it happens to shows every now and then, and all we got is like kind of woulda, coulda, shouldas, out there. Big shout out to Nicholas Kelly saying, wait, since the Markovians and possibly the ASA and closing in on Freeland, who is to say that at some point might hit up the Purdy and take a few metas, and next time we see Anaya might be next time we see Anaya, it might be a corpse. You know, the Purdy aren't out of the question. The Purdy and the I can't remember the other group. They aren't out of the question, and they are a story thread that can always be pulled on in the later episodes. So you know what? I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at that at all. And I'd be interested in seeing that. I'd be interested in seeing where that went for, because it does bring some larger implications to kind of like the metas that we don't pay attention to, sort of like Morlocks or something like that for the X-Men. You know, it could end up being something that was way more interesting than we ever thought could be or would be. Let's see. I'm trying to find the video that we have on the channel with the oh, you know what? I think that's a video that was for Hannibal. I think Hannibal Taboo has that video. I don't think it's on my channel, so I apologize. I don't think the one with the guy that was on Krypton is on the channel at all. Yeah, so it might not be on the channel. So I'll search and see if I can find it for you guys, but it might not be up there, but we'll know for sure. But back to the chat. We got Nicholas Kelly said, true, Empire did have one good season, but aside from that, since Odell is from Gotham, and we all know that that those from there, if their plans come up in flames, there's a high chance of snapping. Oh boy. Don't get me started on Gotham. I don't want to talk about nothing that's going on in Gotham with the CWDC. Please do not cross that over. Big shout out to Tremaine in the house. What up? Nice to see you. Good. I'm glad you loved the episode. I thought it was a good one too. I think this was real solid, except a couple of things like, you know, Khalil, it's like, we knew you was coming. Like, come on, dog. We knew you was coming. Oh yeah, the other group was named the Sangi. Yes. So you got the Sangi, the Purdy. How do you incorporate them, if at all, into a possible invasion of Freeland? Because of course they have to come from the outside in, so they'll probably have to pass their area, I guess, their turf. You know what I'm saying? And he said, Nicholas Kelly says, and we know that the ASA has Looker since it was a thing mentioned by Jefferson in season 2. Yeah, so there's a couple of wild cards out there that, you know, could be pulled on. Possibly. Let's see if I can pull out. Get out, don't fly high. See if I can pull some info out for you guys for the Comic-Con stuff, because I remember there was some San Diego Comic-Con information that I had. I don't know where it is. It might not be on there. So I'll keep a lookout for that video and see if I can find it, and I'll repost it up on the community for you guys to check, because I remember he was talking about Krypton a lot and where they were thinking about going. You know, of course, without being able to do it anymore. Let's see. Tremaine says Odell is the only good character in Gotham because everyone else in that city is trash. Batwoman is a trash show. You know what? I've never watched Batwoman. From the trailers, I'm not interested. I'm just not. The suit looks weird. The hair looks weird. It's just not for me. And then the young lady, is it Ruby Rose? I've never been sold on her. So basing a show on her shoulders isn't something that I'm interested in. Then some people that I know in and outside the industry have not spoken well about it, so it hasn't encouraged me to watch either. Let's see. Corey Toombs in the house. What up? We got Dalton Brennan in the house. What up? Says seeing him fight Gravedigger was dope. That's right, Dalton. That was a sweet scene. And Corey Toombs says, I need that workout plan. Said, it's funny seeing Khalil act so sheepish, like he isn't always about to bust out them shirts. Oh man, need that workout, need that painkiller, man. All you got to do is kill a whole bunch of Markovians, and then you'll be ripped. That's all I got to do. Just kill a whole bunch of people. You be all right. Um, so I'll end off with this. Markeith Collins comes in the chat, says, "What's the top 3 crossovers in comics for me or all time?" Because for me, I can easily say mine. For me, I don't know if everyone else would agree, but I can say mine if you know what I'm saying, if you down. See, Nicholas Kelly says, and who's to say that Tobias doesn't have connections outside of Freeland? Maybe a graying business tycoon in South Dakota by the name of Edwin Alva. Word. Tremaine says, Batwoman completely pissed on the Batman lore. The only good thing about Batwoman is her costume. The character is only good for the Arrowverse crossovers. In her own show, she sucks. Well, I guess that kind of sort of sums up what I've been hearing. But and last one, Nicholas Kelly says the only thing good about Batwoman is the villain, Alice's methods. But aside from that, nothing else pulling me in. Oh, and big shout out to Gotham Guy. Of course, Gotham Guy comes in. We're talking about Batwoman. Here comes Gotham Guy. Gotham Guy with the super chat. What up, what up? Thank you so much for the $5 helping build and add to the Nerd Soul, you know what I'm saying, services, if you will. Now, but just helping me produce stuff. Thank you very much. Says director Salim Akil is from the Bay Area. I'm from Richmond, California. Word, I'm from Richmond, Virginia. And it's great to see episodes that he directs. You can tell the difference. Yo, man, honestly, the Akils have crushed it on this show. This show is in its 3rd season. I'm still excited about each episode. Unlike other CW shows that I don't even watch anymore because I'm done with it. So okay, let's go into, we'll end this off with Markeith Collins' question. What are my top 3 crossovers in comics, I guess, in general? Comics ever. So there is and I guess you could call this a crossover. If not, I will consider it my crossover. Age of Apocalypse, that's top for me. That's top. That's probably the number one for me. And I know you might be like, it's not a crossover, it's an event. You know, it crossed over books. So, you know, that is just, Age of Apocalypse, I still enjoy it thoroughly. I love that book. I love that crossover. It just is amazing. Number 2, I'll go with you, Markeith Collins, with Blackest Night. Now, with Blackest Night, though, I will expand it because Blackest Night has like a longer, there's like a prologue and an epilogue and the post-production or whatever. Like Blackest Night, there's like, what is it? It's like red. You got the Red Lanterns doing something crazy. Then you actually have Blackest Night. Then you have like the White Knights come in. It's like a super long story if you read it all. But that's crazy because you got the Justice League. They turn to like zombies and stuff with the black rings, and then they got to fight them with the power of the faith, and then the people with the green rings got to come in. It's intergalactic. It's crazy, and it's been a while since I read it, so I can't remember everything, but Blackest Night is, if you're a fan of just DC lore, it goes deep and it's dope, man. Blackest Night is legendary status, yo. I do have an issue with the black rings and the white rings, but that aside, Blackest Night is well written, well put together, with the red rings, the yellow rings, the green rings, and how everybody, it's literally like a DC free-for-all. It's crazy and it's well done. I like it. Allah. I like it a lot. And then lastly, let's see, hold up. We got Gotham Guy says X-Men Inferno. And then Nicholas Kelly, I'll get to that in a second. My last crossover, I'd like to say is a fun one on my end, which is it's an old book. It's X-Men and Teen Titans. That was just a fun read. I know it was kind of quick, but X-Men and Teen Titans, it was in the 80s, I think. But yeah, those are my three. I think those are my three that I could read those crossovers kind of again and again. Maybe not back to back to back all the time, but they're always great to come back to every year or so and just read through it because it's just a sprawling epic. And if you know those characters, you enjoy it and it's fun. So much shorter than others. Age of Apocalypse is super long. Blackest Night, if you take the expanded all of the books thing, it's super long. And then of course, X-Men and Teen Titans is just a fun book that's kind of short, but it's cool. So yeah, those are my crossovers. Let me see if there's any other that I would put on my kind of honorable mentions list. You know what? There's a comic book with Jason versus Freddy versus Ash, or Ash versus Jason versus Freddy. That's cool to read. Then you have IDW did a crossover with Ghostbusters, Ninja Turtles, and Transformers or something like that. That was fun. So that was a fun read too. So I really like that. The IDW Ghostbusters were super flavor. Big shout out to was it Dan Schoening and Eric Burnham? That was a super dope read. So yeah, that would probably be on my list too, because it was just wacky and weird. You had like these zombies coming through. It was just strange to see that crossover with like Ghostbusters and Transformers. It was like, huh? And so yeah, that's another one that's fun. So those are my three crossovers. And thank you for working my mentals out, because those are some good things. So back to Black Lightning before we bounce. We got Nicholas Kelly in the chat. Says, so Sergeant Gale, Shining Armor, or as I like to call him, Ginger Captain America, was about to be put into place by Brandon, and later became Captain Save a Chick. I'll just leave it like that. Tremaine says Crisis on Infinite Earths is where it's at. You know what? I tried to read Crisis twice. It was boring to me. I'm sorry. I know that is a classic book, and I know people love it, and I know people swear by it. I tried to read it. I bought it. I got home. I sat down. I opened it up, and I don't think I got to like the 10th page, man. I'm sorry. Crisis on Infinite Earth just did not do it for me. Big shout out to Gotham Guy said yes, it was a one shot worth with Phoenix and Apocalypse. Saying for me it would have to be Nicholas Kelly saying for me it would have to be Heroes for Hire for Marvel, Blackest Night for DC, and then Avengers versus X-Men. Here's my problem with Avengers versus X-Men. Did you feel that the outcome was kind of pointless, or was that just me? Did it feel like, we didn't really go anywhere? Like, we had cool fights, but we did get the Phoenix Force though. And we got Cyclops in that baller outfit. So maybe we got something. Because we saw the Phoenix Force start to turn on each other to get more and more power. So maybe we did get something out of that. But I just feel like we didn't get what I thought we would get out of that. Big shout out to Tremaine Terrace. I guess I'm the only one that realizes the greatness of Crisis on Infinite Earths comics. No, man, I know it's great. There's many people that agree with you. I tried, man. I really tried. I tried. In the midnight hour, yeah, you heard my tries. Oh, man. Tremaine Terry said, my brother, that's a fail. How can you not like Crisis? That breaks my heart. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry. Dalton comes through, said, I found it funny that the comic guy on Legacies was reading Crisis during the week they ran the episode during Crisis. Cool. And then Tremaine said the whole point of Avengers versus X-Men is the epicness. Story not the point with that run. Yeah, because I felt like we did a whole bunch of cool stuff, but like none of it ended up mattering. You know what I'm saying? But with that said, guys, thank you for coming through. We have been on for a long time. Thank you for the super chat up in the house, of course, to Gotham Guy. Thank you for Dalton coming through, Nicholas Kelly, Tremaine, Gotham Guy, Marquis Collins. Who else did we have early up in the spot? We had Daryl in the house. We had a whole bunch of cool people, a whole lot of stars up in here tonight. So thank you all for coming through. I will leave y'all with this. If Tobias gets powers, who's the first person he kills? I'll leave y'all with that question. Who is the very first person he kills? Because I don't think it's Odell. But let me know. Hit me up in the chat, in the comments after the replay or whatever. Let me know who you think he kills first. So, guys, of course, NERDSoul, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Holla at me. We can talk comics. We can talk, movies, a little bit of sports if you want. Whatever. It's all good. So, before I bounce from me to you, thank you for watching. Thank you for coming through. Shouts out to Tremaine, Nicholas, Kelly, Daryl, all y'all guys. Y'all are awesome. Marquis, y'all are sweet. Y'all are super cool and love to see y'all sunshiny faces. Till next time, peace, 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 peace. Come on, peace, peace. Yeah, Cyclops did seem kind of pointless. Peace, 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 peace. Oh, snap, Black Lightning's ex-wife. What? Peace, peace, peace. Powers of X and House of X was really dope too. Peace, peace. You know what I mean? Oh, Lord Jamar is so funny, boy. Peace, peace, peace. Gamby too can take an L. Peace, 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 peace.